Hey guys, it's Dawn Witt. How are you all? It's good to see you again. Sorry it's been a while since I've got to post anything, but I'm sure you all understand that life gets in the way. Um, but like I'm really wanting to start this channel to open up awareness about abuse. Like a lot of people go through abuse and they think they deserve it. They don't have a self-worth enough to understand that that's not a normal way to live, you know. So in their minds, they get kind of mixed up with, you know, do I deserve this? Is this what I'm supposed to be going through? And then when a person decides to leave, it's scary, because where do you go? They've they've threatened to kill you several times if you leave, you know. Is that gonna happen? They're crazy enough. They've done enough crazy stuff for you to see that. But anyways, let's go back to the topic of narcissistic abuse. I'm gonna pull something up here for myself. So the way I want to explain it is narcissistic abuse is a pattern of emotional, psychological, and sometimes financial or physical control by someone with strong narcissistic traits. Okay. Most of the time, you can't even tell if someone is a narcissist. They're really good at what they do. Um, like it's known as the silent abuse, um, because half the time it's hidden. It's like a bruise will show up, you know, but you don't know why. You don't know why. So I'm like I said, I'm gonna bring more awareness to this because I myself have survived abuse for 20 years, and honestly, um, it's been a challenge just to learn to live a normal life. Um, because I've got a great life now, and like I self sabotage because I'm so used to not having good things or not deserving good things that I can just screw it up so easy. And I'm not only doing this for other people, but I'm doing this for myself too because we don't have support like other people do. We hire stuff, you know. So there's very different tactics that narcissists use, in narcissistic abuse. And I'll give you some examples. Love bombing, and it's showering you with affection and gifts and promises at the start, gaslighting, my favorite, making you doubt your own reality, your memory, or your sanity. Well, that never happened, you know, that's how that is. The silent treatment, withholding affection or communication to punish and control. And they do that. Triangulation, this is how they bring like a third party into the relationship dynamic to provoke jealousy or insecurity. Like, why would you do that? But they do. Projection, accusing you of the very behavior they're guilty of. So, for example, my exes used to accuse me of cheating all the time. Why? Because they were the ones cheating. They were projecting that on me like it was a me thing. So that was very nice. Financial control. They'll limit your access to your money keeping you dependent on them. So you can't go anywhere else. You feel like um, you can't do it by yourself. You have to have them. And that's what they do, and the impact on people. Let's talk about that. You lose your self esteem and the person you are, your identity. Like, you have none. You are only what they want you to be. Hypervigilance, constantly walking on eggshells because you don't know if this is going to make them mad or that's going to make them mad, or what you say, is it going to trigger something that they're going to bring up that you've done 6 weeks ago, or it's just it's crazy. Anxiety, depression, PTSD symptoms, man. Isolation from friends and family. They don't want you to go anywhere. They don't want you to talk to anybody. They want you right there with them all the time so they can control what you do. Feeling addicted to the cycle of abuse due to trauma bonds. That's a real thing. It's so bad, but you're so used to it that you're bonded to it. And the trauma bonding, the cycle of abuse, the love bombing, the devaluation, the discard, the repeat. It creates a biochemical bond like addiction. Stress hormones plus dopamine hits from crumbs of love lock people in this cycle, and they think that they don't deserve better. People think it's easy to leave, but it's not at all. And the reason why it's hard to leave is fear of retaliation. Just like I said, how many times was I told that I was going to die if I left? Financial dependence. If you don't have the money, and they do, then they control what you do or where you go or where you talk to, whatever. Emotional attachment. This part is where you believe that the abuser is going to change. Like, you really feel like it's going to change. Things are going to change. Things are going to get better. But they don't. And then there's the shame and the stigma of, oh my God, she's being abused and she's not leaving and da 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 da. Yeah, well, it's hard because we have lack of support systems to try to leave. Healing and recovery. That's the big part. That's the part that I really want to say. Really want to concentrate on because it's getting better. Healing and recovery. Offering encouragement and steps like education, learning about narcissistic abuse. That way you can name the behavior. Boundaries. Cutting off or limiting contact. I mean, that's one way of healing and recovery. Therapy and support, trauma-informed therapy, support groups for safe communities. Self-rebuilding, big, 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 big. Journaling, meditation, hobbies, exercise, anything that makes you feel good. It will help you bring back your identity. And patience. Because healing isn't linear. We celebrate the small victories. I try to explain that to somebody else, like, well, why should you get this? Because this is a normal behavior. Because we celebrate small wins to get to the bigger picture. Hope and empowerment. This is what we need. This is what we got to have to get better. You know, you are not what happened to you. You don't have to identify like that. You are what you choose to become after, and how you choose to change and become a different person after these things have affected you as bad as they have. So I mean, I have a live Q&A, but I don't see anybody on my live. It's fine. Um, like have you all ever experienced gaslighting or that kind of abuse, and like how did it make you feel to be in that position? You know, what was the first sign that you noticed something was wrong? Can you remember? Can you think back and remember in the relationship when that point was there that you noticed something was wrong? This helps you rebuild connection and community if you can identify this. So, in a short reflection from our own journey to make it real and relatable, the combination of truth, empathy, and practical tools, it is what makes it powerful. So, I'm going to go. It's nice talking to you guys. Feel free to subscribe. I will be putting more content up. Like I said, I want to bring more awareness to this um, silent abuse. It's uh, it's one of the worst that I've ever been through. But once again, I'm Dawn Witt. Thank you so much. So that was a 10